Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Today with Jared James. I'm here
James.
with my beautiful wife, Linda.
Linda James and Teddy James.
Teddy James is here as well. He's
Yes.
yawning. Tom.
Not James.
No, not
Tom, you know what's
James.
funny, man? This is like the second interaction we've had with you today. And here's what I mean.
You don't even know it.
Yeah, you may not know this.
Yes. Yes.
But you groomed Teddy earlier.
Yeah, you have a twin brother.
Yeah.
What?
He's so
the guy
nice.
that, okay, so you know what? We're going to turn this into an efficiency thing. So I get a mobile groomer. Not I. I don't have
He would
somebody-
love a barber
I
to
don't
come
have
to his
somebody
house.
come over and groom me.
He
but
would
yeah.
love a barber to come over.
Done it before. But I get a mobile dog groomer. It's all a time thing. Guys, if you got to know me, I'm all about time. Like time, right? And so I have a mobile dog groomer. Right now, as we're shooting this podcast, there is somebody in the parking lot, a mobile car wash, detailing my car right now, right?
true.
Like it's all efficiencies, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what gets me excited is stuff like that, right? So the guy who grooms Teddy, though, and does a great job, like whatever, I don't know how I never put this together. Like, we love him, he's great, whatever. And then, like, I walk up, I meet him early this morning, I give him the dog, and I'm like, hey, we're going to head to the gym. Can you just let him back inside? And we have this whole interaction, and then we come inside, and Linda's like, Tom. Tom
That's
is grooming the
literally-
dog.
I said, does Tom have a brother?
Yeah.
he's
Tom,
like-
he is just like you.
Yes.
Yeah.
The problem is, I mean, like, if anything happened to you, Tom, we would just go to our dog groomer and ask
Yeah.
you,
Just see if we can get double.
hey, could you also be Jared's
Be
personal
like, you
assistant?
never left. You have everything.
Could you help us with
Can you help us with
podcasts?
everything? Can you help us with everything? Yeah. Anyway, so man, he looks
Anyways.
like you. He kind of
know.
dresses like you. He's kind of got
Yes.
your mentality. Like, you know, in
What's
other
his-
words, I'm ready to get rid of him.
He had tie-dye on today. Like,
Are you
dude,
serious?
you are a
Tom,
tie-dye guy.
Tom, I don't
Yes.
know how I never saw it. As soon as she said it, I was like, that is so true. Like, that is
Yeah.
right on. Yeah.
I love that.
I know.
I have a doppelganger.
He's
out
got a
there,
good
no kidding.
demeanor. He's got a really good demeanor. Like, whatever you say, he's like, yeah, no problem, man. Got it. Like,
Yeah.
whatever, like, just really, opposed to our
He's like
last
a
dog
Tom.
groomer, which, my God. Like, look, I love dogs, and I know you love dogs.
I do.
Some dog people, they're a special breed, pardon the pun.
Nah.
Like, they're a special breed. Like some dog people like dogs because they're not good with people.
That's fair.
And the last one that was doing Teddy, she just she had no people
Jared
skills.
walked to the window, and I think he knocked on the window or something, and then she got upset.
Yeah, she's like,
that,
can you
could
not?
you please not do that?
Can you not text me while I'm doing this with him? And can you not? She was just like, we're like, can you not ever show up again? That's what I basically told her. Goodbye. Yeah, we're good. We're
Anyways.
good. Anyway, on that note, that whole story was to talk about efficiencies.
Well, yeah. I mean, we were saying good morning and
Yeah.
and hi, Tom.
Okay, guys, you want
But-
to get your time back? What's his name wrote the book Buy Your Time Back, right? One of the best places to start is in things like that. And then there's other little things, right? I have the house cleaned every other week, which it's funny because I find that people who get their house cleaned usually have the cleanest houses overall anyway. Right? It's like my house is always kind of clean. You have an eyelash right under your
Yeah.
right eye.
Yeah.
Under here. Go ahead, wipe it. Oh, you just missed it. You just moved it down. Right there. Bang. Oh, you're going right over it.
Babe.
You're going right over
Okay.
it. Hey, let me see. Look this way.
Someone just
Got it.
fast forward this part for listening.
I'll take that as a thank you.
Well, someone is gonna comment and be like, "We don't need to like hear you talk about the eyelash on her face."
Yeah, I like your impression of comments as well. Anyway, yeah, but we do that. Do the house cleaner. You do the car. You do the dog.
Well, you were
do
talking about the house cleaner. How you said every other week, and the people that usually have a house cleaner have a clean
Like the cleanest houses of all. Like,
Yes.
like, I am a clean freak. I am, but it's nice to have that deep clean.
Yes.
That whatever. Like sometimes people are like, "What makes you happy?" And there's the easy answers, right? It's like, "Oh, your kids being happy, and my wife, and all that kind of stuff." I like it when the world's in order. I like it when I've got plenty of stock of the things I need in the house. I like it when like the house is in order and things are where they're supposed to be and the beds are made and the whatever. Like the fact that we're doing this right now and there's somebody outside right now like doing a mobile car wash, a full detail. You guys have no idea how happy I'm going to be getting into my car. Like some of you are chaotic because your lives are chaotic because the things around you are chaotic. Go clean out. Some of you are trying to figure out what to do and you're sending me DMs and you're like, how do I do this? And it's because I don't have this transaction. No. Some of you need to clean out your closet.
Do some spring cleaning.
Yeah. Go get rid of some of the stuff in your closet and like just go give it to Goodwill and then walk back in your closet and see how good you feel. It's just like when you're surrounded by chaos, your life feels chaotic.
Yeah.
And so I like it when the world is in order. You know?
I do have to say that. I feel like you could walk into someone's home, sit in someone's car, and you know exactly their personality.
Oh God, yeah.
I'm like, ooh, like, you know, it is
Oh,
like, and
God,
so like
yeah.
if you sit in my car is pretty clean, but you'll know, yeah, she has kids, like
I wish it was
whatever.
acceptable
Or if-
during an interview to be like, can I go see your car?
Yeah, let me see your bedroom.
I would
Let me
not
see
have
how it
gotten
looks.
this job.
Yeah.
Let me see. No. Uh-oh. I'm sure the dog groomer is the same way.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
No, but like, it says a lot about your personality and who you are in your day to day.
Yeah.
Like, I have no problem someone coming. If you came to California, Tom, and you knocked on my door randomly, you did not even say that you were coming, I would feel okay because the house is always in order.
Other than it'd be weird.
I would never do that.
I mean,
Yeah,
it'd
no,
be
that's
weird.
super weird.
That's.
I mean, it's weird. I'm
Yeah.
just saying anyone
That is
could
the
drop
worst
by.
kind of person.
Hello.
I'm just saying
Yeah.
anyone could drop by at any time, and I'm not like, oh my goodness, the house is a mess. No, it's in order.
Yeah, I never worry about the house being a mess, but that would be weird if someone goes across the country and just,
Hey, I'm going to stay here for a
sorry.
week.
who's here? You got room?
Congratulations.
If my
Yeah,
neighbor
really.
walked across and knocked on my door,
You gonna
I'd be
eat
like,
that?
No, it's totally fine. You guys,
Tom and I are just in our own little
too much testosterone
little
in
side thing
this
right here.
room.
Too much
I
testosterone.
really like Kraft mac and cheese.
Speaking
If
of
you
too
can
much
make a store run,
testosterone, that
that'd be
basically
great.
describes the real estate industry right now.
Oh my gosh. Can we just go ahead and talk about real estate real
Well,
quick?
we'll
'Cause
get to it.
I did make that comment to you. There's way too much testosterone in the real estate space, and it's all like, who could do it better than who?
I don't disagree with you. We're going to get to that. There's definitely a
very
pissing
annoying.
contest going on
Very
in the
annoying.
industry right now. There's no doubt about it. Look, I am a defender.
I love you guys.
Yeah. Look, I think overall, men are under attack the last few years, but this industry right now is it's a big pissing contest. But before we get to that,
Yeah, what do
let's talk about what wasn't a pissing contest, which was well, you know what? Let's go a couple different ways because I've had an interesting couple of weeks here. Because guys, we're going to talk about today. I had dinner with Tom Ferry. I had drinks with Robert Refkin. I did James Dwiggins' event, which Robert Refkin and James Dwiggins are completely different. Like they're on the opposite sides of all this pre-market, private exclusive stuff. Did a lot of that. There's been Zillow previews has come out, and all these companies have made a deal with them, and Keller Williams and Remax and all these different companies. And then you had EXP came out and said we're doing a non-exclusive deal with Realtor.com and Homes.com and ComeHome.com, which is a subsidiary of Google, which most people didn't know that. That's kind of a big deal that most people don't realize. And then you had, obviously, Compass doing the deal with Redfin. You got all this kind of stuff going on right now. Before we get into all that, it is interesting, and I think one of the reasons that people who are listening to this should be interested is that you'll get a very unique perspective from me, meaning like you're there, like, we'll just be doing whatever, and all of a sudden I've got the CEO of some brand texting me or messaging me or, whatever, and just like, and it's like they're all trying to get you on their side and trying to
Jared, I have something coming out tomorrow.
yeah,
Oh, I know
like
something
what's going on with
tomorrow.
this? What's going on with
Okay,
that? And what's
so
going
that's
on,
me.
whatever, and it's like, and I try to do a good job of like keeping a level head and just kind of like, I am not beholden to anybody. Every moment, I'm a free agent. I'm a free agent to the best idea. I don't belong to anybody but God. Outside of that, and my wife.
My wife.
But outside of that, I'm a free agent to the best idea at any given moment. Like I'm always open to what's best right now. What's the best idea? What's the best? I literally try to look at everything like that and feel like that. And it's interesting because, like I said, I am in a situation where I was doing the Next Home event a couple weeks ago. Loved it. First time doing the Next Home event. My next homies, what's up? If you guys are out there, we'll go West Coast. Not that you guys are West Coast, but it just
that's
feels
gangster side in
feels
California.
right.
You don't do that.
Yeah, that's true. But
Yeah.
that's more like Tupac going back.
Okay.
But felt like I should say with Next Homies. But anyway, so I did that event, had a blast. I may or may not have raised almost $40,000 doing live band karaoke. That may or may not have happened. But it's funny because my life is weird. A week before, I was having drinks with Robert Refkin, just him and I, sitting in the corner at a steakhouse, just having drinks and talking, and talking about the industry, talking about like those conversations are the ones that I wish there was a lot of those conversations. You can't really say everything that's being said there. You know, it's like when I talk to these people, it's like you're talking to them one-on-one, and it's look, there's a PR game, there's a publicly traded company, and then there's just, hey, you and me, you know, let's whatever. And so part of the reason why you guys hear me have the opinions I do and talk the way I do and whatever is because, you know, I really get to know the people behind a lot of these moves. And, you know, we live in a world where everyone tries to demonize the other side so much. And once you get to know the people, you realize that most people are not evil. They're doing what they think is right. Everyone's going to call it for the consumer, but you know, really, you're dealing with publicly traded companies. It's very rarely, you know, for the consumer. It's much more of the time, you know, for many other reasons. And in the end, I do think that a lot of them believe that it is for the consumer because they believe in what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know. But the consumer is kind of put out there as like you know, that's the PR play, you know, the consumer, and everyone's going to play that card, you know. But it is interesting getting to like really talk to these people and not have it be press releases and headlines and whatever. It's just having a drink and talking and really getting to it and getting to know the people.
That was your first time ever meeting him, huh?
In person, yeah. Like we had messaged before, and then I was doing the ERA event. Shout out to my guy Alex, the president of ERA.
West Coast.
What's
I'm
that?
West Coast. Oh, yeah, everything's West Coast.
Tom's got jokes now, huh?
Sorry.
Shout out to Alex, president. Actually, that'll bring me into the next story I was going to tell. It was an event that myself and Tom Ferry did, which we never do events together. It's always you getting him or you getting him. Like we're never at the same event, you know. So it's kind of cool to be at the same event, but. ERA was part of Anywhere, which was purchased by, you know, Compass, and so you know, I've talked to Rory many times, but I'd never met Robert. And then I got a text out of nowhere, and he's like, "Hey, you know, let's find time to meet. Let's whatever." And I'm like, "Awesome, let's do it." And so we went and met up, and honestly, like most people, you know, I get along with everybody. So like we were very easy to get along with, very easy to, you know. I was hearing his story a little bit. You know, it's a really interesting story. I mean, he's half black, half Jewish. You know, family. His mother's family left. Like he's never talked to them anything because of the half black side, which is crazy. You never think about that in today's world. Like that people still think like that. You know, and. You know, hearing the story, hearing everything, and you know, just really interesting. I wanted to get to know the person a little bit, and then we got into the ideas and those kinds of things. And I've said this many times, like there's stuff I agree with, there's stuff I don't agree with. There's stuff that, but everybody, I don't have to agree with everything. It's not how it works, you know. But I don't also hate the idea that we try stuff. Like if we don't innovate, someone else is going to, and they're going to take over, you know. And so that was interesting. And then, you know, a week and a half later, I'm backstage with James Dwiggins, who's the complete opposite. I mean, they have social posts.
Who is he again? I'm sorry.
James Dwiggins is the CEO of Next Home, but he's also a player in the industry that, like, they go back and forth online. Like, just they are the completely opposing views. And James got a lot of great points, too, and a lot of stuff I agree with, too. And, you know, great guy. I've known him for years, you know, and so it was so awesome doing their event. That was really cool. You know, and then in between, I'm talking to Leo, the CEO of EXP. You know, before they made that deal.
Leo's my favorite because he invited us to dinner.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Just,
You said as long
so
as he
you know,
pays.
As long as he pays and his wife is
Yeah.
her.
But, you know, then I'm talking to Leo, and Leo's telling me about the deal they're doing with that was going to get announced for with was it Realtor.com, Homes.com, and ComeHome.com, which is really Google. And there's just all these deals going on right now, and EXP came out and said, you know, that's non-exclusive. So we're going to get into all that, but. In between all of that, when I went and did the Next Home conference, some of you might have seen a social post where I did a thing when I was like, you want to know who the worst person in real estate is? And then I showed Tom Ferry, which obviously I'm kidding. And it's so funny because we always joke around about polarizing because there's so many people who think he's terrible, and then there's people who love him.
We had to delete a lot of those comments.
Really?
I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, I don't delete anything. What do you mean? Yeah. I was like, what? I thought you guys are working behind my back. I was like, I don't delete comments.
Yeah, we delete all those.
No, but it's true. Like it's like him and I, and then there's a ton of people in the industry who love me, and then also people who hate me, and you know whatever. We've gone places where people who hate me come over, and you're like, what? You know, my wife's ready to fight people.
Yes.
it was really cool because, we had a chance to go backstage when we were at ERA. We don't get to see each other too much. But him and I together, me and Tom together, it's like looking in a mirror, meaning we're very different styles. Don't get me wrong. We believe similar things. But there are very few people on this planet that I have such a shared life experience with. Raising 2 boys, very similar ages, similar differences in ages. Living the life we live, where you go out on the road all over the world and you're like a rock star, and then you come home and you're taking the trash out. It's like back to normalcy, back to people wanting to know what you think about things and getting up in front of large audiences and having a social following and just in very specific in the real estate space of like, this is, and so it's really cool when you get to sit down with somebody who has such a shared life experience. And when you're so used to going to things, him and I both are so used to going to things, and you always kind of have like I don't want to say like a guard up, but you always there's always this energy exchange, and you're always giving in every experience, and it's kind of cool for us both to just sit down and just be like, let's have a couple drinks and just chill, and that is the talk, that is the convo you all would have liked to have been at. Because we were just shooting the crap about everything. Personal, business, everything in between. His history, going back to his father and beyond, the family, his childhood, his whatever, me with mine, talking back and forth. Where do you think that comes from? What do you think this is? Our thoughts on the industry. We had a blast. Literally, I think we were there for many hours. I'll just put it that way. We were there for many hours. And so that was nice. That was you don't get many opportunities like that where 2 people can sit across from each other and be like, hey, there's very few people on this planet that understand you like I understand you. And so that was really cool, right? And really enjoyed that. And I told you when I left, I was like, I really enjoyed that. That was fantastic, right? And look forward to doing that more in the future. We were talking and we're like, maybe we'll do some live events together.
I look forward to the day that Bravo picks you guys up and has a whole like putting your coaching into reality and so you could actually sell.
Yeah.
But then you told me that Tom never sold a home. He never was licensed.
No, he was never licensed.
Never sold real estate.
No,
so I was like, maybe he actually sucks. So we don't want to do that.
No, he's been trained he's been trained in sales. He knows his stuff. He's been trained in
yeah.
sales. He came up with his father. His father's the godfather of real estate coaching.
I always say that I probably would dominate real estate because of my sales background in the MLS and like knowing how to use certain tools to prospect and yada yada yada. But then again, I don't know. I never sold. But people, because I know my stuff so well, just probably like Tom, people assume that you do.
Well, it's the truth though. It's like real estate. I never considered myself, I never got into it because I was so like passionate about real estate and whatever. It was like that was an avenue for me to flex my entrepreneurial muscles. I already knew I was good with people, good with sales, good with whatever. I just chose real estate to go do that.
Yeah.
And so I have no doubt Tom would be able to do that. I know people.
I think it'd just be so fun if there was ever. I mean, it will never happen, but like a Bravo
I'm
episode.
such a private guy that I'm like I would have trouble with that, having cameras around all the time and everything. Let's just pretend. I think you would be down. Believe me.
I think it's kind of fun. I think it's the idea of like put your coaching, everything that you guys pour into all these other people, put it into practice and go ahead and
I
do
think
it
would be even
sell.
I turned down once that basically that premise on MTV. They had that show where they would hire like the
flipper thingy.
No, like coaches to come in and whatever. I forget what it was called on MTV. I ended up turning it down. I went and did all the stuff, whatever, and then they offered it to me, and I said no. This was like in the beginning. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do this. I actually think it'd be more interesting just to travel with us for a few months and just get behind the scenes
over
on
here.
life.
You don't even
I'm not going to do it. I'm saying like what I think would be more interesting.
Yeah.
Of like just that life, going and meeting with, the guy that runs the #1, company in real estate and getting calls from the other people and then going to events and doing that and then doing meet and greets and then going and doing stuff with you and then going over and do like the dinner with Tom and then going to doing whatever. It's like the life is very interesting, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we take this break in action right here from this episode to tell you about a company that I think every one of you individually, team, brokerage-wide, whatever, needs to be using, which is StackWrap. StackWrap.com. Guys, if you're watching this right now, you know that you have a whole lot of bookmarks, on your computer. And we have all sorts of tech tools and all of these kinds of things, which is awesome. But if you're not using them, if you're not implementing, if it's just confusing you, what is the point? And so StackWrap is that place where you consolidate everything into one place, single sign-on. You see everything in one place, whether it's your CRM, whether it's your Jared James Academy, whether it's your email, whether it's your calendar, whether it's your Monday.com, whether it's whatever it happens to be, all in one place. And now they have an individual option as well. So if you're an individual, get on over to stackwrap.com. But if you are a brokerage or you are a team, no matter what size you are, this company is absolutely blowing up right now. And their pricing right now is not what it's going to be a year from now. So if you have a team of 10, a brokerage of 3,000, a whatever it happens to be, head on over to stackwrap.com, talk to one of their reps, and get going. I promise you won't regret it, especially as a brokerage or a team. You can actually see what your people are doing. You can see heat maps of where they are. There's so much you can do. Go check them out. You won't regret it. Stackwrap.com. But anyway, I digress. My point is that I really enjoyed it. It was fantastic. And it's really just kind of put me, God, there's just so much going on right now. Like, we're going to get into all that stuff because it's like all these people that are warring right now in the industry. I'm friends with all of them. Like, it's so funny. It's like, I feel like mom and dad are fighting. And it's like, come on, But then on top of that,
it's more like dad and dads.
Brian Buffini throws his...
There's no women there. Just so you know, us ladies are perfectly fine.
Oh, God. And then on top of that, Brian Buffini throws his hat in the ring. And so Gary V goes and does Keller Williams conference. I think it's Family Reunion or whatever it is. And he gets up and he's like, everybody in this industry should be spending at least 50% of their time doing content creation. And I mean, come on, guys. Like, it's everybody goes nuts and they're, yeah, what are you talking about? You're so out of touch, whatever. And, I mean, look, Gary Vee, first off, knows his stuff, amazing what he's built, but he has a tendency to, it's 99%, it's whatever, like, he just goes to the extreme. Like, that's what he does, right? And, I mean, to even think about that rationally for a second, first off, you'd have to have some kind of a team structure that allows you to even do 50% content creation, whatever. Yeah,
What are the other?
But then Brian Buffini gets involved. And he comes out and he does a thing. He doesn't mention Gary Vee, but he basically says there's all this talk and all these, influencers in our industry lately are telling everybody that, that minimum time should be, that you're a content creator. And if you think you're a content creator, you're going to be a broke content creator, who doesn't sell any homes. I can sure as heck tell you that, 50% of my time is not spent creating content and 50% of my revenue does not come from whatever. And he basically goes on that kind of a rant. And everybody's sending me this. Not everybody. I hate when people talk like that. Not everyone in the world sent it to me. But I got a lot of messages from people, everyone.
Oh my God, I didn't even hear about it.
Yeah. But I got a lot of messages from people. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Right? And I want to be very clear about something. First off, if we're being real, so I did a reel about this, but those are 90 seconds, 2 minutes. If I really wanted to get into this and get detailed, I could argue that Brian Buffini is 100% content creation. It's what we do, right? It's what I do.
You're a brand.
Whether it goes on social, doesn't go on social, our whole life, our whole value is content creation. It's intellectual capacity. It's like right here. You know what I mean? Like, we go to events and we say what we think. We go and we break things down. We go and we have thoughts. We go and we teach skills. We go into the academy. It's content. We're technically 100% content creation if we want to get technical, okay? Now, that's not what Brian was talking about, though. And I know Brian, by the way. And Brian, by the way, has been for years. I know he did a thing and he was like, 12 years ago, I did the, whatever on social media, whatever. But we know he has not been a big fan of social media. I know that. I know people who work there that have told me that. I know that he kind of looks at it from the perspective of like it takes away, like it's about the, person to person, face to face. And he lately, someone's got a hold of him lately, has gone much deeper into social media. You can go look at his accounts and see he's gone in now. Like he's, my whole thing is just basically like these things are not they're not against each other. They're not, it's not or, it's and. You know, it's like, it's not you do content or you do face-to-face relationships referrals. They're both. They play to each other. Like one is a glue and one is the fabric and one is, like they play together. Like you're not going to get rid of face-to-face person, no doubt, but content and social and video and all those things extend the relationship, keep you in front of people, start new relationships in many cases, do whatever. Like it all goes together. I don't like that people are positioning these things as one against the other, like who wins. That is not how I see it on any level. Now this idea of 50%, again, I don't like to say anybody is like, to each their own. Maybe there's somebody who's doing that. I know realtors that are spending 50% of their time doing content creation. I know one spending time doing 50% of their time doing content creation because they're starved for attention and it's getting them no houses. And then I know ones that are doing it and they're selling a ton of houses. It's no different than, you know, I did a video recently and I said, you know, there's two types of influencers. You know, there's people who actually lead in a way that makes them deserving of a following. And then there's influencers who need following because they're attention whores and they weren't loved enough by their dad. And it's just the truth, you know? But to put everybody into one bucket, I just don't think I need to do that. Like I get judged enough and criticized enough by people who don't know me that I don't like to be in a position to make blanket statements and go, 50% is too, it's ridiculous. For many it is. For some maybe it works. I can tell you for me, that video that I replied, let's just make this really simple, where I replied to the Brian Buffini thing. I don't think it went crazy. It didn't do anything on one platform. So between the platforms, it probably has 100,000 views, okay? To shoot it, edit it, and post it on all platforms took me less than 15 minutes. Not 50% of my time.
Okay, so you said a lot right now when I'm listening. Let's breathe. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, I am.
No.
It's the last time you're ever going to see her on this podcast, okay?
That was a lot. Okay, no, okay, content creation. I mean, are we just saying, hey, just be visible? At first, it's like, just be visible. You know, and just go be on social, whether it's with your family, whether it's at a listing, whether it's with your buyer, be visible.
It's all of it.
But now we're like, oh, content creation, be specific.
Well, you see, how do you define content? That's the thing.
Like,
With your family is content.
Be visible. You know what I mean? It's just more like, be active.
This is
Be
why
available.
I always say social media is modern day marketing. It's just, look, what was everybody trying to do in the past when they're sending out all their postcards and sending out all of their, they're trying to be in front of people, that's it. And so you have this very non-intrusive way to be in front of people, and a lot of people are having difficulty pivoting and switching and understanding it's the same thing. Like, remember I always say marry the principle, date the model, right? Principles are tried and true, models and strategies constantly change. The idea of visibility, that principle, it comes in forms of many things, right? And so while it may have been before, you know, naming your company AAA Insurance so that you'd show up first in the yellow pages, which was another form of visibility. Now it comes in the form of answering questions, showing what's going on in your life, talking about current events, culture hacking, and doing green screens, and doing whatever. It's all the same thing, is what I'm saying. And so, again, it all comes back. Like, how many times have I said the quickest way to underperform on your potential is to get romantic about how you got here? I understand people that have done it a long time, and so the thing that got them somewhere, they start to trust that thing. But that's where pivots come in.
Yeah.
You know?
I also feel like it's dependent on your audience. Like Gary Vee's audience is probably a lot of entrepreneurs, right? So his content, he probably is throwing a lot of content out because businesses and entrepreneurs, startups are looking at him.
Sure.
You're majority content creation than you are more like day-to-day fun little reels that we do. It's more content because your audience is more business.
But by the way, those fun little reels, those are the glue that make people care about the
Correct.
business advice.
Correct.
That's the part people miss.
Yeah, and they could connect. They could connect
Because
to you finally. Like, on
before you
something.
make your next point, just like this is so important because I don't want to skip over that. It's so important, and this is what people don't understand. Like sometimes you get people, oh my God, could you just put out a business? Why are you doing a stupid video with your wife? Or why are you doing whatever? Like you know, you get people like and they don't understand.
They are harsh. I know.
Like just this is so important though. Why is it when people put out a picture of their kids getting on the bus for the first time, it gets such a reaction? Is it because they like to watch kids get on a bus? That's a pedophile.
That's no good.
Yeah, that's no good. It's because it's your kid. The connectivity, the context matters when talking about the content. The only reason the content matters is because of the context to that content. So the reason you care about that kid and the reason why it gets the most likes of anything you've ever put on Facebook is because it's your kid getting on the bus. The reason people care about my business videos, my entrepreneurial advice, my thoughts on things, whatever, is because they connect with me personally and they see me having fun with you and they see me doing things with my kids. And they're like, that's a real person and I can gain this from him? Oh, I love this. That's the world we now live in. Someone just commented on a video you and I just did, and they commented on Facebook. You probably didn't see it because you ignore Facebook. And they said, even though I've told you over and over again,
I just forget about
like
it.
it's like outperforming almost every other platform now. And they were like, I just have to say, I've followed Jared for all of these years, and the last few years, the love he has for his wife and just seeing him have fun and expressive, I've never seen him like this. I love this version of him. And now when I put out something else and I talk about the Compass stuff and the EXP stuff, whatever, they're like, I'm in. And why are they in? Because they connect with me over there. So all of it matters. You know, you can't make a a popsicle house without the glue. You can get all the popsicle sticks, but if you just try to put them up and collapse.
Yeah.
No, put it, collapse. But now you got glue. Now you got a house. And that is the part that people are missing. The personal side that so many of you don't want to share is the glue that makes everything you do in your business world matter.
I think what I'm seeing a lot more now from realtors and real estate agents is that they're putting so much content less personal. And on top of that, they're using AI for so much of it too, that you're at another level of like, just filtered, just not genuine. Like you don't even know now. So it's like, it's interesting that Gary Vee would walk into a room full of realtors and be like, more content. And it's like, I feel like everything is fake. I'm questioning if I literally showed you a reel the other day. Remember on a reel on a plane.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this.
And what did I say to you the moment I saw it?
You're like, it's AI.
I said it must be AI. Nobody was filming that door before it opened.
A door busted open on a plane, but the camera was rolling.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's so, there's no personal touch anymore, even if it was content creation, because now everything is just AI generated.
No, but there is. That's the advantage, though. By the way, what I think Gary Vee was actually doing, I think Gary Vee was big screening the audience. And what I mean by that is there's an old technique, okay, that old appliance stores and otherwise used to do. Remember when you'd walk by before we had the internet and everything else, but there was a modern day window you would walk by, right? And if they were selling TVs, which TV would they put in that window? It wasn't the small one, it was the biggest one. And the reason they would do that is because if you went there looking for a 32-inch TV, if they put a 60-inch in the window, you may not buy the 60-inch, but you'll buy the 42-inch. I think what Gary Vee is doing is he knows that nobody in that audience, almost nobody, is going to jump it up and do 50%, but he knows that everybody in that audience is doing too little, and he's trying to get them to buy the 42-inch. And so he's saying 50%, 50%, because he's trying to get them to 9%. He's trying to get them to 16%. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the nuance of like, instead of looking to attack everybody and say why they're wrong and whatever, when you use your human brain, you start to go, oh, I see what he's doing there. That's not a bad idea. But you bring up a really good point as well, which is in this world of AI, it's almost like that thing I did the video on where Ryan Serhant talked about a $50 million deal that was almost killed. Because, both of his clients went in after they went under contract for $50 million, and the buyer asked GPT and it said, you're paying too much, and the seller went in and asked GPT about the same property and they said, oh, you undersold. And now they're both backing out because GPT, and it goes to show you that whether it's, in real estate, whether it's in content creation, because everybody's going on there now and going, what should I create for content? What should I create for? You've got to understand that we're all trying to make a beautiful recipe, but there are ingredients in the recipe. And if you skip ingredients, you don't get the recipe. If you make bread and decide you're not a flour person, you're not going to get bread. And so everyone's looking at it now, which is lazy. And they're going, AI will tell me what to talk about. AI will do that for me. AI And you're forgetting the very crucial ingredient of you, the personal touch. Where AI can give you ideas of things you should shoot content on. AI will do, but AI doesn't understand the nuance of what I said before, which is that personal content is the context that ultimately makes your business content matter. AI is not going to tell you that till it hears me say it and other people, and it starts to learn and it doot, but it's just part of that process. One of the huge ingredients in those recipes is us. And so you use AI to kind of like, to get ideas and but you got to understand it's giving those same ideas to everybody. And so you've got to look at those ideas, and then you got to go, how do I personalize them? How do I make them me? How do I put my JJ stamp on it? How do I give them a little glimpse of our life, which makes this, because again, everyone can put a picture of their kid getting onto a bus, and it all gets different reactions. It all gets more or less likes. Why? Because the context of whose kid it is getting on the bus.
Yeah.
And all of that personal content and the other stuff that you do is ultimately what makes your kid the most popular one getting on the bus, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
You see what I'm saying? And so it's why I keep doing the stuff with you. It's why I keep doing, it's why I mix it up, and it's why I do fun stuff, and then I talk about a business thing, and then I get serious, and then I'm over here, and then I'm doing a keynote, and then I'm doing whatever. It's like, hey guys, there's a lot of ingredients here. If you want the recipe of, I'm going to go third person here for a second, but if you want the recipe of JJ, the true JJ, there's a lot of recipes that go into this, and we can't just pluck one. And the problem with so many people right now is they're trying to check boxes, and they're trying to pluck one. And they're trying to either let AI do its thing, or they're trying to just like, I'll just do some content because they said I have to do content. And it's like, no, guys, there's some ingredients here that you're missing, okay? And that is the nuance that people really have to pick up on. There's no easy way. There's no, okay, now this takes over or that takes over or whatever. At the end of the day, the ultimate factor, the thing that just makes everything different is you. Take this quick break from the podcast to talk about Mosaik. You've heard me talk about it before, but man, has there been changes. When you look at what's going on in our industry right now, whether you're an individual, but especially if you're a team or a brokerage, and you look at Rocket buying Redfin and then Mr. Cooper, and you look at the Zillow Super app and all of these things, you need to be asking, what do I need to do to compete moving forward? Because what they're doing is they're building end-to-end ecosystems in what I call the economy of convenience. And your people are going to go what's for convenient, not just who's taking care of them. And if you can't match them and you can't offer an end-to-end economy for them to actually operate in, then we're going to have a problem, right? And so this is your place to do it. One of the great things about our industry is that we come up with amazing tools, amazing tech tools. Problem is we have so many different ones, and every time we use a different one, we miss an opportunity to get a consumer used to the same one they would then use post-close, which is where all the value is. So we have them use something for transaction management. We have them use something for e-signature. We have them use something for forms. We have them use something to make an offer. We have them use something, and it's all different convoluted. Mosaik makes it very easy, all the way from search to property analyzation to making an offer to the forms to transaction management to a client-facing app to post-close follow-up, everything all in one place. And every time they use it along the path of getting their home or selling their home, they get more and more comfortable with it, which only adds to the option, to the availability, to the chance that they're actually going to use that thing post-close, which is where it all matters. It's branded to you. They know about you. You're giving them information they want. It's following up in ways post-close that statistically we know they want to hear from you. So if you're not using Mosaik yet, make sure you go check out Mosaik, mosaik.io. Get it for yourself, your team, your brokerage right away. That's the only letter that matters. We're so interested right now in the two letters AI that we're not realizing the most important letter in the alphabet when it comes to all this stuff is the letter U. That's what makes them all what they actually are going to become.
Okay, so I won't spend too much time because we have so many other things to talk about. But so there's AI that assists with content creation ideas. But what are your thoughts on all these AI avatars and clones? Now it's like you completely pulled yourself out of even being as relatable because now it's not even you walking down the street with a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I don't know that it's going to be as popular as everybody says. Like, look what just happened with Sora.
I see so many.
Look what just happened with Sora. The AI generated that everybody was like, it's the next thing. This is crazy. Anybody notice what just happened? just got shut down. Because the reality is that people want real, you know? Now, that doesn't mean there's not a place for it. That doesn't mean that there's not a place where...
But that allows, just real quick, that allows people to be able to create 50% content.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
but-
like, some people are going to go
volume
to that
doesn't
route.
equal...
But I think some people actually look at volume versus the quality of what's
Yeah, but there's a
being
difference
put
between
out.
having one steak and having 50 pieces of turd.
Correct.
Steak is steak.
But I think agents are inundated with so much information. That's great, babe. They're getting inundated with so much information
brown stuff,
that they're like,
yeah.
okay, fine, I'll put 50% out. And so what they do
Sure.
is they do all of this AI generated content and these avatars that look just like them,
Sure.
walking down, doing this stuff, flowy hair, whatever. And then now they're like, great, I'm doing 7 posts a
Right,
week.
but if they're
5
all
posts a week.
doing it and it's all the same as each other, where's the differentiating factor?
I feel like that's what agents are wanting. Just tell me what to do, Jared.
Yeah.
And I'll do it.
That's what I'm doing.
Is it 50% or is it 9%?
No.
Just tell me. You know what I mean? Like people are wanting to know. Do I use avatars? Do I not use avatars? Do I do this? Do I not do that? And I think agents are getting pulled all over the place that they're just like so overwhelmed and they go to these conventions, which are these mountaintop experiences, and
Yeah.
they're so excited.
Yeah.
But then they feel so heavy when they get back and they're like, I don't even know where to start.
Right,
they
and then
start
many
investing
speakers that
into
are at
all
them
these
feel like
things.
they need to make a difference, and so they say outlandish things.
So it's, yeah.
Yeah.
Quite honestly. And
Believe me, I know.
And so it's great when you go to these conventions, but it's just like, what do I do?
Yeah, I agree. I've been backstage at these things listening to people lately, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, everybody wants to be the first. They want to be the one who says the most outlandish, the world is going to be, this is what it's going to be. And it's just like, God, come on, you know? Like, let's, it's okay to kind of like, you know, I say it all the time, like, just pull a little Braveheart, you know? Hold, hold, let's wait and see. You know what I mean? Because, like, Sora was about to be the next big thing.
I didn't even hear about Sora. I don't even know what Sora
Am I saying
is.
it right? Is it
No,
Sora?
it was, yeah, I think so.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't even know. I never
It was like
heard
an
of it.
AI video. It was
So
like
I
the big
taught
one.
it. I taught it in our
okay.
academy
Yeah.
because like it was like the big thing that was happening. And we
Yeah.
were talking AI. So I'm like, guys, get a Sora account. So I got a Sora account. And I went on there and I played around a little bit and I went, yeah, this isn't interesting to me. And I did not make
I
one
didn't know
video.
what that was.
I don't know if you guys saw that, but like, and I'm not surprised it went away. It didn't interest me. It doesn't mean it wouldn't work. It just didn't interest me. Like I'm not interested, right? I could see a place where like people are doing when it comes to like the AI clones and the AI, you know, whatever. Like I could see a world where like, you know, it comes to our academy stuff, right? And we change something in the academy, or we're making a video about how to go through it and how to navigate it and what's the first things you should do and whatever. Man, I gotta tell you, if there's a world where we change something in our academy and now I gotta completely change the intro video that tells them how to do something and where to get the app and all that kind of stuff, and I could just go to my AI Jared and be like, make a new video, same thing, but we've changed this, do it up, look like me, and action.
Man, if only we had that for like when we had the CRM.
This is
for
what I'm
those
saying.
demo
This
videos.
is my point. I could see a world. You're doing tutorials for the CRM that you own and you're doing whatever. I could see that because that's not relying on personal connection, personal thoughts, personal, like, I could see that. At this point, and I'm in disagreement right now. Like, look, Gary Vee's on the record going the other way. Many people are on the record going the other way. I don't personally right now see the world where people want to consume from fake for advice or other things. Funny videos, I feel like it gets old. That's why Sora got old, because like it's not even real. Like, okay, whatever. Like I could see that in my imagination. I don't have to make it, you know? and you have more and more people that are now like, oh, that's where it's going, that's where it's going. You're gonna get a lot of people doing it. We'll see. I think that when everybody's doing it, people are gonna get tired of the idea of nothing I'm watching is real. I think there's going to be rules and regulations passed that say it has to be very clear and shows this is AI, this is not real, this is not. And I think people are going to get to the point where like, why do I want to watch a bunch of stuff that's not real? Yep. Why do I want to watch Jared when it's not Jared? Why do I want to? I just think like most things, we go so far. How many times have I said this on here? We go so far one way or the other. And I just don't think most of us are there. I think that I think connection matters. I think there's things about efficiencies. I think there's many things from an AI perspective. You look at what Claude is doing with co-work and like all this other stuff they're doing now. We're like, it's actually doing stuff now.
It's amazing.
Awesome.
It's
I think that's
amazing.
awesome. We're probably gonna have to start teaching that in the academy now. Like, awesome, you know? I think that's fantastic that you can do that stuff. When you talk about, I want to hear from Jared how to blank, or I want to see what's going on in Jared's life, or I want to know that's Jared.
Mm-hmm.
I think that people are kind of at that place. We get annoyed when it's a self-checkout. There's not even a real checkout. Think about that.
I know.
I love that.
Dude,
love
I had
the
a
self-checkout?
I had a
I love
self-check-in
love
at a
self-check-
hotel the other day, and
self-checkout.
I was
Oh no, that's too far.
I was ready to go,
That's
you
too
know,
far. I saw that in
Oklahoma
Vegas,
City
but
bomber
yeah,
on the
no,
place. Like,
that's too far.
Are you kidding me? Like, come on.
I don't like that.
They had to come over and explain everything for a half hour. I'm like, why didn't we just check in?
You could have just checked me in for
This would have been much
a
easier.
fraction of the time. Yeah.
And then I go upstairs. This was in Austin, Texas, and there's no washcloths in the shower.
Did you have to do a self-check?
I call down. I'm like, where are the washcloths? We do not do washcloths unless you request them. We are a European style. We're in Texas. We are not in Europe. Like, are you kidding me?
Also,
and
can
the
you
lady's
confirm
like,
that?
I know people get irate. I don't know why we do this. Yeah.
Can you confirm that you've been to Europe? Like, do they?
Oh, it's annoying. Yes.
Do they
It's
really
very
do
true.
that?
It's very true.
Wow, I did not know that.
No water
That's-
pressure.
Oh wow.
Like, they will tell you, like, it's almost like how these new lights that are so efficient. Can you believe how
can't
efficient
even
it is?
see.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I can't see.
Yeah.
I was
I
telling
believe
Jared,
it.
if him and I ever had to design a hotel room, we'd probably be the best couple because we know exactly where outlets should be.
Yeah.
Lighting, mirrors, like
How about some
literally
water
everything.
pressure in here?
Yeah.
it should-
Seriously.
Can I get some water
Like
pressure?
they should live in that hotel for at least a month before they launch it live and be like, "Hey, grand opening," because there's a lot of things that are just not working.
So
out.
that same hotel, I had to call downstairs and I said, I think there's something wrong with my the shower head. I'm like, I can barely feel the water. Like, I'm literally like, is there a little boy over there just peeing on me? Like, where's the water? And she's like, they came up and looked at it. They're like, no, but we're an eco-efficient. I said, I can't get the shampoo out of my hair. Like, are you serious? This is how efficient we've gotten? Anyway, I'm going to go Larry David quick on this podcast if we don't move on.
I know. No, real fast though. You mentioned a goofy comment that I'm not on Facebook a lot. There's something that actually came
You're getting
out.
better, by the way.
I am. Okay, something came out a few days ago about how they're incentivizing people to now post their reels, creators that have like 50,000 followers or more.
Let's go.
And they will pay them up to $3,000 a month
Whoa.
for these views. People, I guess, are just not getting as much reels.
Don't say that too
posted.
loud. Tom's going to go on a binge to go get a bunch of followers on Facebook
right.
and leave us.
No, they announced that. They announced that a couple days ago.
Tom,
they-
don't you dare.
They announced that a couple days ago. Anyways, which is interesting to me because people are posting more reels on.
That should be a
TikTok and
topic.
Instagram.
Do you know what I was thinking about doing one time? Talk about social content.
A mastermind?
Don't start. Don't start. Thanks, babe. You wanted comments. There you go.
Close up. There you go.
Next mastermind is.
I-
Just kidding. We don't have a date.
You really?
Give us a location.
Really?
Who wants to collab?
I was going to do a video on how I make my money.
His real money
I thought it'd be interesting. Like, seriously, like different streams.
of income.
Yeah, because one of them I get, you bring that up, I do get money from social.
Yeah.
And, like, it's, like, decent money. It's not like...
I mean, a lot of people get. I mean, not a lot. I mean, a lot of people that I know.
yeah, a lot of people get $3. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
talking like I actually get money. Like I get money. That's how we get them nice tickets when we go to like the Laker game or the Yankee game or whatever, because I have it deposited directly. This is a true story, guys. So what I do with any affiliate deals I have, this is stuff you will not hear from any influencers out there, okay? I'm giving you the real deal right now.
He doesn't.
Okay?
He does not. What is it called? Gatekeeping.
Gatekeeping?
You don't do that.
Yeah, I don't gatekeep.
Yeah, we. Tell it
I'll give you
all.
the real
Talk about
deal.
it all.
Yes.
I do. I feel like I do say whatever's on my mind. Like I feel it gets me in trouble a little bit, but it's just the truth. Look, guys, I'm a normal folk. I came from a broken home with a, whatever. Like
We love you, Marie.
I think this is like, yeah, hello, Marie.
We love
Hello,
Marie.
mom.
We
We
love-
love you, mom.
we love you, Mom.
But I'm just saying, like,
You know she'll text you.
yeah, I know. Mommy, just so you know, I'm not saying like broken home. Just like when you don't have a, mother, father home, they call that broken home. I'm not saying our home was broken.
love you.
Just want to be very clear. But my point is like when like stuff like that happens, I love telling people like, here's what the deal is. But like, I take any affiliate deals I have, any like money I get from companies, any like money from like social for like. all those views and everything. We get money from all the different platforms and everything. I have it go directly to my PayPal. And then this is why, guys, don't criticize me when you see me at a concert, front row, or at a Yankee game, I use it for that. I'm like, let's go enjoy this. I'm like, kids, you want to go to a Yankee game?
Use it for
Let's sit behind the dugout. Let's go over here. Let's go. I don't use any of my money to do it. I use that. Just like when you see us travel. We're going back to Cabo. I was just in Cabo. We're going back. People are like, must be nice. I don't spend a dime, guys. Literally,
it's all the content creation you've made.
Everything I do goes on a credit card. I pay the credit card every 2 to 3 days. You know this.
Do you pay my credit card too? Oh, okay. Just want to make sure.
I have millions of points, rewards.
Yeah.
And so when we go on trips, when we do, any of that stuff, it's all just rewards. Like it's all from all the travel I do and from all of the whatever. Like the payoff is that sometimes I get to travel with the family and not pay for it and stuff. And so we should do a podcast one time just on the upside down world.
You should just do a mastermind on that.
Oh God, stop with the mastermind.
No, but anyways, it really is though. Facebook Babe, and it's a new program you actually have to opt into.
Yeah.
No, it's called Creator Fast Track.
Did we opt in yet?
It just was announced like 3 days ago.
Come on, babe. You had one job.
Yeah, I don't have enough followers.
Should have been signed
I wasn't
up
talking
4
about you.
days
I was talking
ago.
about right here. Okay, put me on there.
Anyways.
Jeez.
Okay,
Anyway, guys,
next
so
one.
that's kind of the behind the scenes. Like, I would love to know from you guys in the comments. Would you? Because I thought about doing this video. I saw somebody else do a video, somebody I follow, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. They were breaking down where their income comes from. They didn't say like I made this much from this. I made, but they
Amazon affiliate.
Yeah, they were
you
like, I
have
make it this, I do
YouTube,
this,
and
I do this, I do this, whatever. And I was like, I started thinking about it, and I'm like, that would actually be really cool. Because most people, like I go out and they're like, oh, he's the speaker. And I make good money speaking. There's no doubt about it. I make very good money speaking. It's the lowest part of our revenue. Like that's like you get, like when I walk through the halls and people go, that's the speaker, Jared. And it's like, okay, I'm the speaker. That's not the biggest thing we do, but it's one place. And so I started thinking about it and I'm like, I always think from the perspective of like, if I was on the other end, because I used to follow people like me, when I was younger, like when I was in the industry, I would like have these people I looked up to. And I'm like, would I be interested in that? And I think I kind of would. I think it's kind of cool to hear like, not from like a braggadocious, I've got this. I'm not saying like, here's how much it is. I mean, from the perspective of like just getting people to think a little different and understand that there is ways to have different revenue streams and different things and do it in a way that you're not just, convoluted or just all over the place. They all kind of play together,
A braggadocious.
Braggadocious,
It sounds
you know what I
like
mean?
that should be about Mary Poppins.
Yeah. You know what I mean, though? Like, how some
it's kinda
people,
cute.
they like to put stuff out because it's like, it's all about, look at what I have and whatever. I'm always super conscious about trying not to do that, but then also just trying to be real with people and be like, hey, this is something you can do. Like, this is really cool. If I can do it, you can do it. Like, here's different places that you may not think of that you could have revenue coming in from.
Interesting. A friend of mine, onto that, and then we have to go on to the next point. A friend of mine is very successful, makes millions a year, but she actually shows people, and she sells it as a course though.
Yeah.
She sells that as a course. People buy into the course, and she's like, "Let me teach you how to make these different, streams of revenue."
She's on
and
OnlyFans.
I have 14.
She's on OnlyFans.
No, she has 14 streams of revenue. But she actually sells her course, and that is one of her sources of income, is selling the course too.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Anyways.
14 sources.
Let's go ahead and
She's
go
a
on
foot
to the
model
next
on
one.
OnlyFans, a hand model on OnlyFans.
Why are my people jokes? And then I
If
don't
I joke about everything, you know that. You know that. By the way, on that note, not the jokes thing, but the revenue thing, it's so true. Like, I was talking to our academy students, right? Like, we have an academy, and we have thousands of people in it, and I personally train twice a month, right? It's $99 a month. If you're not in it, you listen to me, you watch me, you respect me, get in the academy. But one of the sessions we're doing coming up, because I brought it up just casually in a Q&A I was doing live with our students, was I was talking about revenue streams, and I was talking about how like we're not taking advantage, we're not thinking like entrepreneurs and taking advantage of all the opportunities that we have when we are, especially real estate people, the source of so much of what we do. And I asked the live audience there, I'm like, guys, how many of you right now have a place on your site where you are effectively selling space on your site to your vendors? Like, in order for the mortgage company to have a spot on there where you recommend them and they're on your site, they have to pay this much a month. And you have 3 different mortgage people. and you've got an inspector on there, and you have a home cleaner on there, and you have a roofer on there, and you have a what do you call it, a landscaper on there,
a painter,
and you have
whatever.
you know, some of them are paying $2,000 a month, and some of them are paying $50 a month. But this is what it takes to be in the thing that you send clients to. Like, here's people that we work with, here's whatever, and everybody's looking at me like cockeyed, because you know, they look at RESPA and all these other things, and it's like, guys, that you can sell ads on your site. That's 100% allowed. Like, that's business 101. And everybody's like, what?
That's what we done with First Up. We created a service for ancillary services.
Yeah, right. Just like brokers do.
So brokers could add all of their partners in there, and it's a part of their marketing package, which actually creates a revenue stream for them.
For the broker.
Nothing comes to First Up.
Right.
And now, and honestly, all of these vendors and companies have the funds that they have to spend.
Yep.
In these areas.
And they want to be the one that they see.
And they want to be.
That's exactly. And so, like, I say this to our students, and they're all looking at me cockeyed, like, what? You know? And I just wanted to hit the full gamut. I mean, we did, what was the word I used before?
I don't even know. Bougie.
Braggadocious,
like
cockeyed.
bougie.
We're just going to,
bougie.
I'm not really sure what a cockeye looks like, but I've got an idea. But anyway, so my point is that, like, I say this to them, and I'm like, you know, guys, how many of you are doing that? Because we have students making tens of thousands of dollars a month. Like, not on commissions, off of all these people that they, you know, these companies they all work with all have marketing budgets, and they all want to work with you, and they all want to, you know, whatever. And I'm like, all right, I guess we're going to do a session on that. And so I think one of the things we're going to do, we have one more week of the how to get listings. We have our 7th week on that. We're going to do a series on social coming up. But I think in between we're going to do...
Was that the next one?
The social one?
Yeah.
That's probably the next series.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
But we have some sessions in between I want to do.
Oh, cool.
And one of them is going to be on having a place on your site, setting it up, and the conversations you have, how you charge, how you keep track of what you're, you know, what you're making for them. And, you know, because people will go, well, I don't have $1,000 a month to give you. And it's like, well, you made $35,000 off of me last year. So if you can't afford to give me $1,000 a month, you know, I don't know if you can afford to lose $35,000. Please excuse this quick break from your episode for me to let you know about Jared James Academy. Guys, if you are watching this right now and you are not in the Academy yet, what are you waiting for? The Academy is literally the best value in real estate, and that's not just me saying it, that's our members saying it. I got a message the other day from someone the other day, and they said, I feel like I'm ripping you off. And that's because the Academy is only $99 a month or $1,097 for the year, and all of it is a complete tax write-off. I'm right now in the middle of doing a complete series on AI so that you know how to get discovered, how to use it to be efficient. Then we're going to talk about planning for the next year. Then we're going into a multi-episode series session series on getting listings. Like, for $99 a month, guys, if you follow me, if I'm a voice you listen to, this is something that you can't afford not to be in. You need to be in the Academy. Go to jaredjamestoday.com/academy. If you're watching this and you're like, oh shoot, you know, what does it come with? Guys, me personally, I do 2 live training sessions every single month, and if you can't be there, then they're going to be recorded. They're available on your dashboard. They're available on your Jared James Academy app. You can watch them on demand. We have notes for you to download with exactly what I talked about, exactly what you need to do, all of our template scripts and dialogues. We've got trainings from our coaches on very specific topics. Like, literally, guys, this is the best value in real estate. If you're not in yet, you need to be there. jaredjamestoday.com/academy. Let's get in there as we head into the new year and make sure that you have not just your best year ever, but let's make sure that your career goes to a whole different place. I'll see you in the Academy. Like, because we'll go to someone else. Like, well, you know. And so, anyway, so I'm probably going to do that within the Academy, but it's just, we don't think enough like that.
Yeah.
You know, that when you have attention, you have eyeballs, it's monetizable. It's no different than when people reach out to me and want me to mention something or want me to collab with them, and they'll pay you money. They're just paying for attention. They're paying for eyeballs. When you're in real estate, when you're in mortgage, when you're in all these different things, you're in contact with people all the time in the middle of a transaction where people are buying and selling more services than ever. You got to take advantage of that, you know, at least make it an option, right? Yeah. And you're not saying that, like, I'm getting a kickback or you're not allowed to do that, but they can buy space on your site. Just like somebody can buy a banner at a baseball field and put it up there. Just like someone can buy a spot on a pizza box. Just like someone can buy a piece of a car racing at the Daytona. Just like they can buy a piece of your site. It's really that simple.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. That was not the point of any of this.
I know.
But let's talk for a second. So I think let's land the plane on that whole content creator. It's not bad to say you're a content creator. That doesn't mean that you're not. We're a lot of things, guys. You know, just like a lot of you call yourselves matchmakers. I don't see a show on Bravo with you matchmaking.
Yeah.
But you're saying this is one of the things I do. I try to match people up. I try to, you know, half the time you guys are psychiatrists. You know, half the time, but you are also content creators, you know, when you understand that content is marketing. That's all it is. Okay, so in this world that we're in right now, we have to understand that. We can't really fight against that, and that's not a bad thing. That doesn't mean because you're this, you're not this. It means that you're this in an effort to be better at this, right? You're a content creator in order to, right? Like I'm a content creator, influencer, whatever. Really, it's all pointing towards the things that I do with my business. It's the influence I'm having, right? It's for what, right? So that's how I feel about that. You know, I get the point that Brian was making, completely get the point he was making, and I think he's really trying to put a focus on the idea that, like, guys, people to people, don't lose sight of that. Don't get lazy and, like, whatever. I would argue people like me and him are, you know, even though, like, probably less than 10% of my time is like traditional content creation in the sense of like putting stuff on social, we technically are full-time content creators. What are we doing right now? Right?
Yeah.
Content. Whether it gets posted here, there, wherever. When I'm talking to people and I'm thinking, content. When I'm doing Q&As, content. When I'm doing the academy, content. When I go, like, it's just when I'm thinking while I'm running, content. I'm like, you know, what? It's just, it is what it is. Anyway. The other thing that's been happening in our industry right now that's really big is the whole, you got the Zillow preview, you got all this pre-marketing stuff going on right now. And it's also interesting to me because, like, I said this a long time ago, like once Compass took over as like the largest company in real estate by double, and they believe in pre-market, everyone's gonna have to do pre-market, whether they agree or not. You have to, because you gotta have it in your tool belt, right? And the real question is, and you know, once everybody's doing pre-market and it's on the portals and it's available to be shown, is it even pre-market anymore? It's just market.
I think that's
calling it pre-market, it's market.
I think that's the thing people are not understanding. Pre-market, like if you want to truly comply with rules, you could pre-market, broker, agent, whichever. But those portals are not a
Pre-market is what First Up does.
Yeah, okay.
Pre-market is in the office,
Correct.
yeah, quietly.
Those portals are not complying with rules. They don't care about rules. They're like, screw you. It's a disservice to our seller. We're gonna do it. If we don't, we're liable. So they're like, we're gonna put it up there. At that point, it's on the market. It's not pre-market. A true pre-market,
right,
is I'm getting the house prepped. The sellers are not ready. But I want to expose and build momentum, so when it hits the market,
get opinions,
I want to make sure it's priced properly, all of that.
Yeah.
So when it hits the market and it goes on the MLS, so it goes on the market,
yeah,
then it's ready. But all these portals don't give a crap.
Yeah,
they don't. They're like, we're the bigger dog here. Screw you.
They just want the data.
We're gonna put it out there.
They just want the data.
And I think that is what's so frustrating. It is not what's best for the consumer. What's best for the consumer is to put it out there, dingle that carrot out there, put it on the MLS where it should be, and then cooperate in listing and selling that home.
So what's going to happen with the MLS? Because it used to be that the MLS would give these properties to the portals, but now the portals are getting them before the MLS. What happens? What does that mean long term for the MLS?
Well, the MLS needs to play ball and not be like, oh, I'm going to cite more. Here you go.
I was going to say
citations.
They need to get rid of a lot of their rules.
You can't do that.
Their rules are going to crush them.
Yeah, and being a past MLS exec, I've always been against like policing that way.
Yeah.
And I feel like some MLSs are doing that to really stay viable and have a job, quote unquote. Like I need my job, but
which you understand, people need to have a job. I get it.
Yeah, but this is what got them in the crap.
Right.
I mean, you did the policing so much.
Yeah. Well, that was one of Robert's points, which he made a great point. He's like, no other industry do you have, your MLS or whatever it is that's the governing whatever, just fining its own members over and over again for not complying and not, whatever. And it's just like, it just brings up such a thing because the MLS was the point. It was the point that gave to these other places. And people got mad. They're like, you're giving our data to them. Well, now we're at a point where even before the MLS is getting it, now these portals are getting it. Do we get to a point? Because the portals, they're talking right, and they're saying, no, we want the MLSs, we want whatever. The portals care about the portals. They don't care about the MLS. They're playing ball because right now they have to. But if now that the goalpost has moved even further to where now they can get the info even before the MLS gets the information, is there going to come a point where these portals start going, you know what, we don't need the info from you. Everybody's doing this now.
The portals are not, the MLS is not the portal's customer. It's vice versa. All the MLSs have contracts with these portals.
Correct, but
okay?
If the portals are getting the info first.
That's why they're saying, we don't need to give it to you because now we have it.
Yeah.
So what the MLS needs to do is not go against the current, but provide something to support those independent brokers more so right now.
Well, that's a whole other conversation.
And
boutique,
be like, hey,
boutique, independent.
We hear you guys. We're going to build something also, and it's going to be there's no dual entry. It's going to allow you to enter here, but pre-market amongst all of your agents, all of your brokers. Stay compliant, and then it's going to go into a coming soon status when it's ready to go up, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you can't push back. You push back here to get further and further away.
Their rules are going to screw them.
Absolutely. And I actually had a great conversation with both Victor and Marilyn from Wave Group, and they amazing people. They've been in the industry for over 2 decades, full of knowledge. And I specifically asked, hey, what's going on? What are you hearing on an MLS exec level? Because they work with MLSs.
Yeah.
And they're encouraging MLSs right now to like, hey, provide a solution. Stop being this police. You know, and then obviously, like NAR wasn't much help. They should never have had that clear cooperation rule. The rules were clear as it was, but they created that.
More rules.
Yeah. And the problem, what they do, and they just did this last week. We talked about this article. They kind of wash their hands, like, oh, we had nothing to do with it. MLS is double down.
They make the rule and then they go, MLS is you figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the MLSs are like, oh, we have to have a committee meeting. Let's talk about this. Let's get rules down. And it's like, no. They leave it vague enough. And it's fine. Like, do not add rules on top of rules on top of rules. Like, stop.
Yeah. Well, I mean, enough of nothing. I did a video a couple weeks ago where I just said enough with the rules. It's like rules after rules after rules. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
Someone else is going to come in from outside the industry who's not going to care about all your rules, and they're going to eliminate everybody because they're not playing according to your rules. You know, and too many rules stifle innovation. Like, it's like you can't do anything. You can't try anything. You can't. And in an industry like this that is under siege right now, someone's going to come in and innovate. You know, like, and some would argue that's what Compass is doing right now. Is they're going, well, we're going to go against the grain. We're going to go, you know, but it is an interesting thing to be looking at because the MLSs right now, which have held the power, if those portals start getting the properties early before the MLSs, what stops them from just being like, yeah, screw it. You know, because yes, the deal was going to the MLS, the MLS would give it to the portals, but now you have Remax, Berkshire Hathaway, Keller Williams, all these EXP. They're making deals with the portals separately.
Yeah.
Which now brings up, and I know a lot of those CEOs, and they want to play nice with the MLSs, but their hand is being forced.
And it's so frustrating. When I was mentioning to Victor on the call this couple days ago, I said the MLS has lost sight of who they work for, and they work for realtors and brokers. Yeah. And those agents, and they have lost sight that they're the ones that pay for their salaries to sit in those chairs.
Yeah.
And this is what's happening.
Yeah.
And my conversation with them really wasn't. It was more like of how could First Step provide a solution? Like, what could I do? Do I need to pivot? Do I need to pivot from focusing on brokers and maybe provide a solution to an MLS?
To like the boutiques and
do I add to the company another layer, you know, to support and keep the MLS viable? Like, that was the conversation.
Do you become the portal? Do you become the access to the portal for the independents,
Correct.
for the brokerages that don't have? They're not Berkshire Hathaway. They're not Remax. They can't make a deal with the portal.
Well, they don't have the IT team behind the scenes helping them create this. So are
they now going to need something to have even footing?
Correct, yeah. So it's like, do I create something for these independent brokers?
Yeah.
You know, and become that quote-unquote portal, but comply with rules. Like not push them out to portals. Maybe I just push it to their local MLSs. One thing what I believe needs to happen in all of this is MLSs have to consolidate. Like, we can't have 700 MLSs nationwide.
Yeah.
If anything, MLSs need to start getting together, because I know in Fresno,
It's already happening in some places.
which
yeah.
is great. But why are agents paying dues to 7
ridiculous.
different areas?
Ridiculous.
7 different MLSs really in one market.
Go
the
be in the
Central California.
go be in the DC market, where they have to do DC, Virginia, and what's the other one over there? God, now I'm going blank. DC, Virginia, and
Maryland?
Delaware?
Maryland.
I thought it was
Is it?
Maryland. I thought it was Maryland.
I thought you said Maryland.
But they're like all like right there, and it's like they have to join all of them, and it's
Wait,
just
Maryland?
like, God, come on.
Which is so stupid. So if anything, MLSs have to consolidate 100%. Yes, people will lose positions, whatever. But come on, agents are having to pay fees all over the place just to get data to cross.
Yeah.
You know, so that's ridiculous. But
And then to your earlier point too, like, what does an independent broker, what does a boutique broker do when they're going up trying to compete against Remax? They're trying to compete against Compass. They're trying to compete against, and that person's going in and going, hey, we're going to have your stuff listed on this site for millions of people to see before anybody else, and then it will do what everybody else does. And then the boutique walks in and goes, we can do what everybody else does, and that's it. Because we don't have the huge conglomerate to be able to do that and whatever. It creates a situation that many people are afraid of right now, and many people think we're going to. And again, behind the scenes, in closed-door meetings with like the big execs and everything else, everyone thinks that we're going to like a 3 or 4 company, big company industry, and that's that.
Yeah,
and
I hope
everybody
not.
else gets eaten up, and it's, and that's that. And if you start having these types of deals and that's what happens.
well, they're going to be forced to fold.
Yeah. Or you're going to be forced to merge, to join others. The number of messages I get from people who ask me about that right there, and they're like, what company should I be joining? Jared, where do you see it going? What company? Which one's going to be able to make? Which one's going to be the one?
What you know what you can tell them? Hold. That's what you need to
Hold?
tell them.
No, but because it comes, because look, for many years we've said, we're like, look, guys, I mean, brokers and brands matter in the sense that your individual broker, they're providing tools, they're providing, okay, I'm not saying that doesn't matter, right? But from the perspective of you get in front of a seller, most of them are not thinking about your broker or your brand, they're thinking about you. They're dealing with you. And so forever, that was the thing. It was like an individual, regardless, can win, even if it's in a boutique, even if it's in a, you'd have the ability to get whatever tool that brand is offering that you don't have at your individual. You can get that somewhere. You can get that independently. You can get that. They have that big CRM. You can go get Wise Agent yourself. They have a end-to-end super app that they're doing. You can go get Mosaik. Like, you can still have that.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. When you start talking about access to portals early, you can't go get that. If you don't have a deal through your major brand, through your major company, it does start to turn into a situation where it's not as easy to tell someone, hey, they care about you, they care about, it's all the same, is it? You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It starts to change a little bit now.
Yeah.
So the landscape is a changing.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, it's just it's also interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting on this level. It's interesting on a company level for First Step because we're being asked several questions. Brokers I've been on calls like nonstop with brokers, and they're trying to figure out, well, they love the product, but then like the budget. This is how you feel like independent brokerages. They're like, oh, I need it. I need this.
Yeah.
I need to stay afloat. I need to stay competitive.
Yeah.
But like, shoot, we don't have the funding.
Yeah.
So you're hearing it even in my calls. I hear it.
Yeah.
And so, quite honestly, I even think the best thing to do for a company or whatnot is to really support the MLS, and then have it support independent brokers. But that's the only way for these smaller companies to stay afloat.
Yeah, there's a lot of change coming. It's like, will the
crazy.
companies last? Will the MLS last? And people are always like, do you think the MLS is going to last? And I'm like, if they are, it's going to be a pivoted MLS. Like, they've got to change.
Yeah, a lot
They've
of
got to
things
morph.
need to.
They've got to,
And quite honestly, that's not going to happen overnight. It takes forever.
Yeah, every committee.
Every committee, every state stuff, NAR stuff. there is a chain of command and an ecosystem that they have to like kind of follow.
Yeah.
And that's it takes forever. So you never see anything overnight with MLSs. But it's super interesting. But quite honestly,
Story
we're
of the
talking
Titanic,
about this.
though. It's like you're too big to turn quick.
I know.
It's just like, and then someone who's swifter and whatever takes over.
But we also were talking about this. It is just, at this point, it's just a lot of noise.
Yeah.
And you posted that in your coaching group. Like, how many of us are over this?
I'm like, how many of you are just over
Oh
it?
my
Look, I
gosh.
haven't made a video in days.
It's
Because I
just
made a video.
lot of
There was like a
noise.
day where I had to make like 3 or 4 videos because all this stuff was coming out, and it was like one thing after another. But then this one did this, and then this lawsuit was filed, and this one just made a deal with this one, and that one, and whatever. And guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, like, I'll get accused sometimes. People are like, "Oh, you're just going for clickbait, trying to get views and whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah, you clearly don't know
Yeah,
me."
because we get paid off those.
Oh, that is
Just
actually
kidding.
true. Actually, now that I think about it, I do. I never thought about that. Maybe I should have been making videos the last few days because there were some headlines I could have. I don't think like that. I literally am just like, I just got tired of it all. That's why I haven't made a video in day. I'm just like, ugh. More things have come out, and I'm just like, ugh. I'm just tired of it. Yeah, it's like I said, it's just one big pissing contest.
I know.
With now this one's winning this one, and this one's gonna win over here, and then you got this one over here, and like. The people who don't know anything about it are your consumers, And so it's like, I got to make the videos because we have to understand it being in the industry. We have to understand what's going on. But then kind of our job is to shield our consumer from it because it's almost embarrassing. It's like, get your crap together, I
know.
And I just feel like we went into an area where you ever been in a clear stream and it's just beautiful and it's clear water and there's a salmon going, whatever. But then you step in it and the dirt goes everywhere and now you can't see through the water anymore. I feel like we just muddied the waters. For what reason, everybody? It all started with those lawsuits and, and it's just like, we just keep on, that looks a little clean. Let's throw some crap on the window. It's just, God, it's all just annoying,
Yeah,
it's
but
good for views, but bad for business. I honestly wish we could just get back to, I just want to train people how to do better at their job and whatever, but then that's why I got to pay attention too, because the rules keep changing, the landscape keeps changing.
Yeah.
Again, it's like friends of mine that are involved in it at the highest levels, they're in the courtrooms, filing the cases, calling me and telling me what's going on. So I got to be in it. I'm like, all right, there it is. But then you also have to try to protect yourself to try to stay pure on some level. It's all just, I don't know about the rest of you. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. Where are you guys at with all this stuff in the industry? Are you over it? Are you interested? Are you angry? Are you where are you at with it all? I just get to the point where it's I just need to step back and just kind of, okay. And then you get back in, because I just get tired of it. I just want to train people how to do well at their jobs so they can enjoy their lives and do, that's what I like doing.
But you also then you also understand these leaders doing what they have to do because they also have to retain the talent they have.
Yes, and they're publicly traded companies.
They're being told what to do. They're just an employee. Really. There's a board of directors that tell them what to do and dictate it and then control that. And so
board of directors, you got private equity coming in.
So you look at that and you look at Leo and you look at Robert and all these people and they're just trying to stay afloat from the next big dog and the next one and the next one and they're all trying to retain the talent they have in
trying
the market,
to make sure they're one of
and the
those 3 or
market
4
share.
that remains.
I know. So it's not like we get it. It's just come on.
Yeah.
It's not a surprise that, EXP did the next one and then so-and-so did the next one. It's just a domino effect that we all expected to happen. But it's just
yeah, I want to be clear.
too
I don't
much.
blame any one of them.
No.
They have to do it.
Yeah.
Their jobs running these companies is they have to. When the moves start being made, you're up.
Yeah, if
You
you
know what
thought
I mean?
it stopped at
you've
Compass,
gotta
come
make
on.
you
We all
got to
knew.
make the next move. You've got to position
Yeah.
yourself. You've got to show your affiliates and your agents that you mean business and that you're doing what's best for them and that you are going to be around and that I get it.
Yeah.
It's just it's also true, again, and not or, that a lot of us are sitting back here just kind of going, oh, God, can we just get back to selling homes, But anyway,
Yeah.
that's a lot about that. Is there anything else we want to talk about today? I feel like we covered a wide
did a
range
lot, I know.
of things. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think there is.
Yeah, we're gonna do a series on social. I will announce at some point a social mastermind. I'm also gonna announce, my wife's been on me, but doing a live event somewhere in the country.
Because we're not doing the advance anymore, which
Right.
is your
So we're gonna do some live events somewhere. Look, JJ, I'm gonna go third person again. Just needed a breather.
Talk about a breather. His September calendar is like so packed. I don't even think I'll see him. I did tell him, luckily you have to see your kids. So when you have to see your kids, I will be there. So like he is just slammed.
Yeah, my schedule's a little nuts. Yeah.
Slammed.
We even like, again, full transparency. We even raised my speaking fee and everything, and have been saying no to a lot of things, but there's just been a lot of stuff coming in, which is great. Look, I'm not. Hey.
First world problems.
Nice.
I guess.
Yeah. First world problems. Nice to be wanted. But yeah, my schedule's getting a little nutty.
Yeah.
Which is part of why my job is to kind of like know what's going on. And
But also,
my job when I do an event, by the way, is like I'll quickly like bring up what's going on and like do it in a fun way, whatever. But then ultimately, I'm not there just to screw the attorneys, whatever. Like we're there to train them and help them, and what's your next move and what's your next step, and what do you do for the sake of your business? How do you make sure you're one of those agents that are making more money moving forward? But what were you gonna say?
Oh, my job is to keep on you about having your live event, micro live event. Events. And then, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
and you
your people are wanting to see more of
We're
you.
doing that. We're also launching within the academy. We're doing a, this is actually really cool. We're going to do a separate thing. Tom, we have to set this up in there as a separate hub for new agents. So people who need new agent training, if you have agents, they don't have to be a part of the academy to be a part of this. We're going to launch a new agents training, hands-on in a group with one of our coaches, just walking them through a 12-week course on starting out and doing well. We're going to do a team leader course, 12 weeks, for people who are either team leaders and want to get better at it, learn the best way to go, or people who want to be team leaders. We're going to do that as well, which I think will be fantastic. On that same note, I should probably mention this. I had a meeting with Sheila yesterday from Mosaik. If you are a broker right now, a broker or team leader, especially brokers, you need to reach out to Sheila from Mosaik, because they are about, for the last time, to make a ridiculous deal for brokerages, and then they're going to move on with different pricing moving forward. So like, you want that full everything in one spot, that super app, so to say, for all of your people, replacing everything and making it, extremely affordable, and also saving money for you, because she's going to make you an offer that's way cheaper than what you're paying for all these things when it comes to e-signatures and transaction management and search and post-close and documents and just all this other kind of stuff, compliance and everything else. She's got everything all in one, and so you can do that for your brokerage, for your agents at an extremely affordable cost. And then last but not least, not that this becomes a big advertisement, but like when you look at it, what do you call it? Max from, why am I forgetting the name right now?
Stack Wrap.
Stack Wrap. My God, I just went completely blank. Stack Wrap as
You're
well.
welcome, Max.
I know, seriously.
He left you hanging on that one.
No, Stack Wrap. They just added the ability, you bring all of your tools and everything you do within the brokerage into one spot, and it's got a heat map, and you keep track of what everybody's doing, and extremely affordable. They're also going to be changing their pricing at some point in the very near future. Wish you got on now. So now's the time. Like, you got to be looking at that stuff. So we'll be launching some stuff. There's some other stuff that's going to be done as well with these other companies, which is fantastic. I can't wait to do this stuff in the academy. I'll probably be launching a social training publicly for like everyone that I'll do before we do like the series in our academy. That's a way we get people into the academy. So whether you join the academy or not, I'm going to be doing a free social training that I'll do like on live or whatever, that'll have a lot of people, and we'll make that really valuable. There's a lot that's changed in social. So I'll do that. And I think that's it. Is there anything else we need to?
No, that's a lot.
Yeah. Let's just hope to God that we're filming this when Duke is playing St. John's tonight. So let's hope to God that Duke does their job and I can be in a good mood the rest of the weekend.
And I can have a happy husband.
It can have a happy husband.
Because he gets cranky, you guys. He gets cranky.
That's actually true.
He gets very
I worked
cranky.
in-
All right.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
actually have a video.
All right.
I should post this.
Post what?
I should have this video. I have this video when the Broncos were. Remember, we all went out on our girls' trip in New York.
First
and you
off,
were there?
nobody should ever post a picture, a video of me if the Broncos are not doing well.
Well, the Broncos.
no one would ever follow
the
me
Broncos
again.
did win that
they
game.
did?
But we were out to dinner, as my girlfriends, and then Jared, poor guy, me and 3 girls. But
Poor guy.
the whole
Every
time-
guy listening right now
the
is
whole
like,
time
what a
he was
lucky
like,
guy.
the whole time he was like, "Don't talk to me. I'm watching the game," and so I have it all on a time capsule. You should actually see it. It's
We're
hilarious.
at like a fancy restaurant.
Amazing.
So, and you should see
And
it.
I
will send it.
I am just there like this, and they're all, and I am not. I'm non-existent. Don't talk to me.
So funny.
Don't whatever.
I haven't shared it with
I'll be
anyone
back
yet.
in a few hours. Like, yeah.
I am
Lucky
here
I
by
went. You're lucky I
appearance only.
went to the
You
restaurant.
see him biting his nails. You get the napkin, like banging the table.
Oh, I get
You
it.
see him
Guys, I
like
get it.
standing up, like, oh my gosh, and then yeah. I mean, he has it all.
I wish it didn't have that much control over me, but it's like my
Yeah, you
escapism. I
weirdo.
care about it. It goes back to my childhood.
It's like a pride thing. I feel that.
And then when we were in
Yeah.
Cabo on the guys' trip, we ended up hanging out with a couple of the Broncos who should have been in the Super Bowl, but they lost.
And that's what you said to them.
Yeah. In their
I
defense, you
100%
want to come up, buddy?
believe
In their defense, they did apologize.
Yeah.
And they were from the defense, and they did say,
bad
you know, we did our job. We gave up 10 points. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
That's true.
we did our job, you know? But yeah, they're like a different species. You get with them in person, and it's like,
Goliath.
yeah, they're just, you know,
Yeah.
those are big boys. Those are big boys,
I
yeah.
don't know. I don't think they'd be that, too much bigger than me personally.
Than you?
Yeah, that was a joke. That was-
Just a little bit.
there's a joke. Yeah.
Jeez.
That's a joke.
I think he thinks we were talking about the, what's the one with the jockeys?
Oh, he's called a jockey.
You know, the jockeys? Those are the,
Oh, like
the
horse racing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No,
That's
these
coming
were
up, actually.
These were Goliaths of men.
Yeah.
Yes. These were, yeah. They spoke in the language of fee fi
Look at
fo
Teddy has
fum.
something to say.
Oh, Teddy. Okay, I think he's done with us talking. He's covering the mic.
He's like, that's enough, you guys.
All right,
That's
guys,
enough.
that's the end of that. My dog has had enough of this. Okay. With that being said, lot of good stuff in there, guys. Make sure you share this with someone else. Comment below on some of the stuff we talked about. We try to be as forthright as we possibly can. As I always say, guys, I'll probably see some of you at a live event soon. Make sure you come say hello. I love seeing you guys live and in person. And hope you enjoyed this. Give us a 5-star.
Yeah, wait, real quick. The next event you'll be at is near Sacramento, California, with me.
The next live event. I'm
Yeah.
doing some virtuals. before
Live
then.
event,
Yes.
California, Sacramento area.
That's right. I will be.
It'll be
That's
fun.
correct. I will be
Okay.
in
The beautiful sunshine.
California.
Oh my gosh. Embarrassing.
All right.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.